Hello, and thank you for joining me on this episode of In the Trenches. Our guest today is an artist who I discovered on Instagram. I quickly fell in love with his music. I listened to it at the gym, traveling, road trips. So I was like, I'm going to holler at him for the podcast. He was like, yo, I'll be honored. We had the most amazing conversation. I was inspired the whole time. So I cannot wait for y'all to hear it. So without any further ado, the artist known as Hueston. All right, Hueston, thank you for coming here and being a part of this, bud.
No problem, brother.
I see we brought a coalition with us. We got a couple crew members with you, right?
Yeah.
Who do we got with us?
So we got Dylan, that's my drummer.
Yeah.
Justin works with UMG, my PR rep over here. I'm so sorry. I forgot your name today.
That's why we're behind.
Jody, I'm so sorry.
PR behind.
Shayna, this is UG. It's my right hand man, my guy, and then Scott's out there, probably on the phone or something. I don't know what he's doing. I think he wanted to just be polite and get out of the shot. That's what I think. So
Okay.
He's probably just waiting out there. Anyways, we got a whole crew here.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being here. I wanted to start by saying that I discovered you solely on Instagram. Solely.
Wow.
Flipping through and coming across your music. And honestly, your music doesn't leave my playlist. And when I say playlist, I usually just go to your Spotify and I start with Joyride. And I take that Joyride all the way down. I don't even know, 10 deep cuts. And I love it because I can work out, go on road trips, travel, and your music, every song puts me into a vibe.
Thank you, brother.
And so that's kind of what this podcast was a platform for me to reach out and holler at people that inspire me.
Right.
And you do that.
Thank you, man.
So-
I mean, look, man, when you initially reached out to me, obviously, I clicked on your profile. I was like, damn, my guy's doing some stuff. What? This seems like this would be an interesting conversation, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm a creative, like you said, you're a creative, I'm a creative. To me, it's like I look at like accomplishments are one thing, but it's also like that creative vision. Like even watching your work, I'm like, yo, this dude, like,
Appreciate that.
He sees like the way that I perceive music, right? Like you put your all into it, you kind of bleed in it.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? It's like, and I see that with you, like the stuff that I've watched, it's like, bro, you're not just taking pictures, you're not just filming shit. Like, you're
appreciate
bleeding
that.
on that
I
thing. You know what I'm
appreciate
saying?
that because
Like,
that's something I do hopefully want to leave behind is that I put skin in the game. I
100%.
never phone anything in, and that's kind of one of my superpowers.
Right.
To be honest with you, going back, having done this now for 35 plus years, I still love it and breathe it like it was the first day. You know?
Absolutely.
I get to be inspired by cool folks. So how did you jump into music? I thought you were a Nashville dude, and sure enough, I call you to invite you onto the show.
561 baby Florida.
And so, do you come up here often?
All the time. So, I guess I'll just kind of dive in.
Yeah, let's go.
Story wise. So musically, my mother was a singer in bands, and she pretty much gave up her music dream and career to have her children. I'm the youngest of her 4 boys. I'm the only one from my father. My father is, he used to ride motorcycles and stuff, was 82nd Airborne, also like had some problems with addiction and stuff, was not really around. He's there, but he wasn't there type stuff. They weren't together ever when I was alive, since I've been alive.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of that, kind of drove my mom to like get to a place where she needed like more help with the kids. So she moved to Florida. So, we went from Rhode Island to Florida. And I moved there when I was about like 7, 8 years old. And yeah, I, went through a lot of different things in life. Life was rough. My mom was a bartender, so she worked at like multiple dive bars. So, I remember like getting off school, man, and walking to the bar and like doing my homework at the bar and having like the military vet dudes sitting there like, hey kid, here's $1, go play the jukebox type of shit.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And like, I always had a passion and a love for music, and it was just something that kind of naturally happened, man. Like I picked up the guitar at around 10 years old and became obsessed. It was like Cause growing up like a certain type of way, like you kind of grow up fast, and I remember like when I picked up that guitar, it was like the first time I was like, it's like I'm happy.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, I'm not surviving anymore. Like I'm not out here like
Yeah, you're kind of lost in the process.
100%. Like I'm not out here feeling pain. Like I feel painless when I pick this fucking thing up and I play it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, and also I get it. Like that was the big thing too. It's like I'm pretty sure probably the same way when you started experimenting with your art form.
Yeah.
It's like you just get it.
Sure.
And it's like one of those things that either you get, you learn, whatever.
Now, did you just
Right into
charge through the creative process?
Right into
beat
it.
through the wall, didn't go
Yes.
around, didn't go up and
No.
over. You went
No.
through. Yeah,
No.
that's kind of me too.
Same shit.
That real kind of like obsessive.
Yeah, like fucking almost delusional at times. Like people being like, yo, I'm like, bro, I'm going to be the best guitar player in this whole band scene. And everybody's just like, yeah, fuck you are. And then like 2-3 years later, I was, you know what I mean? Like, and it was just because like that obsession, like just that feeling, like I always say like, you know, I always say pain and like bleeding. And when I mean those words, it's like, dude, like music has been like such a place where I can be vulnerable. Where in a lot of my life, bro, I had to be like, I couldn't be. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So it's like, to me, this was my release. This was the place where I could bleed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or cry, or I could feel. You know what I mean? I could let this out. I could.
Now, did you release music with, you know, I remember the first time actually releasing photos because my world has shifted from a world where Instagram didn't exist and now where Instagram does exist, right?
Right.
So for me, I had to adjust to the social media thing, you know,
100%.
throwing out work like it was nothing. Right. And by doing that, I had to kind of deal with a similar mentality of what an artist, a singer deals with, a musician releasing their work. I was scared shitless to do that. Were you ever just like at some point early on in the process scared to release it to the world?
No. I gotta be real. I like, even like my early stuff, like I listened to like back to that, like even my like earliest bands and stuff, right?
Sure.
I'm like, damn, that's not good.
But
I've always had that fearlessness of like who I am today. Like to me, it's just like I feel like I'm the most confident person in the room, but I'm also the most insecure as well. And like to me, that's why I care so much about what's happening, like what the music sounds like, these different things. And so to me, it's like I'm that confidence guy that will be like, I'll go release this, but I'm also the guy like when people are like, yo, this and this, I'm actually gonna look at that and be like, let me reflect, let me see this, let me actually, I want to be the greatest, like I want to be that great, at least the greatest version of me.
Sure.
So to me, it's like I have to be able to reflect, but I also have to be confident so I can swing that bat and hit the ball, you know. And I'm gonna miss some swings. I'm gonna miss sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
But it's about like, if you never step up to the plate, you're not even in the game, bro. You know what I mean? It's like, and I feel like I know so many people in the music industry that are so talented, but they're so afraid to step up to that plate and swing the bat. And it's like, bro, nothing's going to happen. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I don't know if that answers anything.
No, it does. But what would you say today? What fuels your music? What inspires you?
I mean, honestly, that pain, bro.
I was gonna say one of my topics was I can hear pain, I can hear hurt, I can hear it in your voice or in your lyric or both.
Yeah.
Your inflections and there's an honesty to that and authenticness to it, which I go to when I hear your voice. It's at times there's this brokenness to the voice, and then at other times there's this heavenly sound that's just so powerful and big. Yeah. So I love the fact that, you know, there is a broken element to even how you sing. Yeah. I hear it, I feel it.
Yeah.
Is that where does that come from?
So I mean, yeah.
I'm obviously
obviously like childhood stuff, man. Like, you know, when we moved to Florida, my mom, you know, dated a few people that probably she shouldn't have dated, right?
Sure.
You know, I've, you know, watched my mom get beat on. I've been beat on. I mean, like me and my brothers, you know, pretty much at certain points we're like raising ourselves. You know what I mean? Because like my mom was working so hard to just keep a roof over our head that like you know, we didn't have, like, where's the dads at?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, like, the people she was dating, them dudes were just like, yo, fuck you kids. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
so it was just like, we kind of had to be our own. Like, I look at my oldest brother as like my father figure when I was young.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he was the one that like looked out for me because I didn't have that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That, a lot of this music, a lot of that pain, like, the truth is, like, bro, there's a child in me still, bro, and that motherfucker's crying when he gets on those records.
Yeah.
And that to me is what it is. It's funny. I have a neighbor in Florida, and now, you know, I'm making some money. I'm, you know, in a nice neighborhood, you know what I mean? So my neighbor Terry, older man, likes to ride his motorcycle on the weekends type guy. He's like, hey man, I just listened to your music and like, there's a kid crying in there. Like he's like, I'm telling you, this is the best, like some of the best I've ever heard. Like it's deep, man. I see you out there like in the lawn and stuff, and you're cool and you're nice and you wave. Like, I always knew like there was a depth to you, but like, damn, like, you know, what is that? And I've had the same conversation with him, and it's like, he's like, yeah, man, well, that's obviously where it comes from.
Sure.
And it does. And to me, it's like, when I look at again, music, man, it's like the second that I picked up that guitar, like wrote a song or whatever, it was like, dude, I was happy. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, wow, I'm actually fucking happy right now. Like, rather than being that young kid who's got to be like on defense all the time, like looking over his shoulder, like now it's like, hey man, I'm actually happy.
Was it the writing process and putting your feelings on paper, or both? Or was it the singing and letting it out?
So singing came later, dude.
Oh.
So guitar and songwriting came first. So I started on guitar. I'm a huge guitar guy. A lot of people don't know that because, like, obviously I'm not always playing the guitar and stuff. And then also the older you get, it becomes about like the songwriting and the vocals, whatever. But yeah, I was in a band called Trip Don't Fall. Mm-hmm. We had a singer, and him and my drummer hated each other. So a night before a show, this guy, the singer, fucking quits the band. And, you know, dude, we're like, you know, I'm like 15 or whatever. We're like, dude, we need this $200. Like, you know, it's like only $200, but it's like, dude, we need this. We could, you know, we could get some old guy to buy us beer or whatever. I don't know.
Sure.
But it's just like, I convinced the band, I'm like, yo, I know the lyrics to the song. I don't know if I can sing, but I'll just go out there and then we'll get another singer so we could just make the money for the night. We already have the show booked. Whatever, I go out there, I sing. From what I think, I thought that I sucked, right? My band was like, fuck you, bro. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you could sing like that this whole
You've been
fucking
holding
time?
out on us?
And I didn't know. I was like, you know what I mean? Like, to me, it was like, but one thing I could do was write. I was always a good writer, and I was always able to like put that pain into what I'm doing. I didn't notice that like I could sing, and like that's one of the most important components to being a singer is doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was like, boom, new door opens up, and I'm like, wow, this is a whole new universe. Now I'm exploring this. You know, now like, all right, into the darkness. Like, let's see what comes out of this. And then look, fast forward, that band doesn't work out, whatever. Start a band called the Blancos, get signed. We're supposed to be the next big thing. Boom, dropped. Ego shit, was a young man. All this shit in life, right? I was still that guy who was like defensive and had the wrong people in the room and was this and was that. And, you know, the day after the Blancos got dropped and we broke up, I decided, hey, I'm doing this fucking Houston thing. Like, I want to do this. I want to do this, but I want to grow this shit first before I go to like the majors and trying to play the industry game.
Okay.
So I dropped, I think it was Tidal Wave. I think Tidal Wave was my first record that I dropped. And I dropped that shit the next day. And I remember when I dropped it, nothing happened. And I was like, oh, this is going to be a grind.
A little humbling.
Yeah, okay. I'm like, all right.
We're going to take baby steps.
Oh, fuck. This is going to take a couple years. But look, man, 5 years later, 6 years later, five or 6 years later, you know, I built the fan base. It's not the biggest fan base in the world, but it got me to here. And then, you know, all the labels start calling me. Hey, I want to meet with you, blah, 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 blah. Met with all of them, a lot of great people, most of them great people. But when I met UMG and I met Cindy Mabe over there, it was just like there was an energy where it was like, I remember sitting in the room and UG was in the room and it was like, we played the records the first time and she closed her fucking eyes, bro, and she went somewhere. Cool. And I remember seeing that and I'm like, this woman really, really, really believes in this. Like in a different way. Like everybody else knows it's cool and it's dope, but like this woman sees what I see, she feels what I feel, she understands it.
Yeah.
So fast forward now with them, think everybody's great, and now it's like, all right, pushing that rock up the hill and getting further up the hill and going to the next level of where we need to be. And honestly, same thing I said before, confidently, also insecure as fuck. So it's like, you know, I need both of those components so I could be like, if I'm wrong, gotta have this guy. If I'm right, this guy, you know what I mean? Like gotta lead. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for me, all of this has been a journey. All of this has been a process. And now the fun part is it's like, dude, like for me, it's like we just stepped on the plate. There was so much shit that went on to prepare me to be on the playing field. But like now it's like, okay, we just stepped on the plate. Like now it's like, all right, it's game time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
So if that means anything, you know what I'm saying? But just, yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's the same with you, man. It's like, you know, when you DM me, man, I looked at your Instagram, bro. And like, to me, like I could see a reflection of you in your art, in your work. And it's like, this ain't a dude that's just like got luck.
What was different about it that you saw from other things, maybe?
Because I feel like we're living in an age of content, right? Where it's like, let's just do content just to do fucking content, right? With your stuff, bro, that shit is art.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? So like I could see it. I could see the pain. I could see the struggle. I could see like what you're doing and how it actually, like, it's art. It's not like, oh, I just took a picture of this guy and there's some viral components.
No.
Gonna go viral. Or, you know, I shot a video of these dudes in the desert on bikes because it's gonna go viral. Like that, no, fuck no.
No, to break that down, I'm honestly very stoked that you said that, because that touches right where I want it to hit. Because like I every time I shoot, I'm shooting for the wall.
Yeah,
that's it. I shoot for the wall. That's in my mind. I'm shooting for art. I'm shooting for exactly that. To hang on a museum wall or into your house. Because I've said it before, if it's good enough for your wall when guests enter your house, and it's good enough for an album cover, it's good enough for whatever. 100%. You know, yeah, you know, I do suffer in my work very much.
Right.
Yeah, like I get laughed at a lot even when I'm on the road. I don't go on the road a lot, but if I go on the road, people will make fun. They're like, "Uh-oh, Spidey's stretching." Yeah, I stretch because I'll be sweating more than the singer. I move, I chase, you know, I get it. I always look for the best shot. I'm looking for the hero, the one that you want to put on the wall. So I'm honestly stoked that you said that. But most importantly, I'm always looking for authentic. You know, to try to find implied emotion or implied movement. You know, it's a still image. You know, I'm a director too, so it's like I'm blurring a line between cinema and photography in my work, and I think that's what people enjoy. But
yeah,
you know,
well, and it reflects. And you said a key word, like, and that's one of my words too, man. Authenticity. Like, it's one thing to have something that's like buttoned up and like presented, and it's kind of like it's been planted there.
Sure.
Right. And then there's the seeds that fall on the ground naturally. Weathered the storm.
Yeah, it gets shadowed, weathered, watered,
and then
sunlight,
grow into a
nurtured.
beautiful tree. And like, to me, like that's the one I'm trying to be looking at, chilling under. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I did a post today, and I had a cat. I mean, it's never the photograph that I'm worried about posting. Not worried. I mean, I shouldn't even say the word. I have anxiety over the caption because I think too much on what I have to say.
I know,
right? And most of the time, I want to just say blah blah blah. Swipe. You're gonna swipe anyway. You know, it's crazy what people hold on to these days. Like, oh my God, I can't like that.
Yep.
My like ratio cannot be at 35%.
Yep.
Whatever in the hell is going on, it's like, dude, I'm just like Mr. Like Happy. If it's dope, it's dope.
Yeah.
You know, but I run into the frustration of social media. I mean, how do you stand with social media? Is it a love-hate relationship or a hate-hate relationship? A necessary evil? I mean, shit.
I mean, it used to be a hate, right? Because I felt like, oh man, like the same thing. Like I just let me put the art on here. Like if you like it, you like it. Like I don't, same thing. The caption stuff. Like, dude. I don't know what to say right now.
Like, exactly.
I think the picture or the music is telling the story.
My producer Troy over here has the most elaborate post, but only do one every 3 months because they're just so involved. He knows the pain.
Yeah.
But
But one thing I realized, like, with social media is like, dude, look, I had some big viral moments and that gave me so many fans. So it was like realizing how to like manipulate that authentically, and also, again, doing some shit that makes you uncomfortable. It's like, do I like doing it? No. Do I have to do it? Yes. But also, do I grow by doing this and putting myself in an uncomfortable position? And then when you get the viral post
Sure.
and then things start working, you're like, whoa, I just figured out a new art form. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And that always changes. And you got to check yourself. And so to me, it's all about growth, but it's also all about like, at the end of the day, there is a light and an art in that shit too.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I have been the dude that's been like, nah, fuck that art over this shit. And then I've also been the guy where that shit started feeding me and my family, and like, got people like you to hear me.
Absolutely.
Like you said, Instagram, right?
Yes.
If you weren't just scrolling and found that shit.
And here you are. You're in my house
Yeah.
with all the homies.
Yeah, exactly.
And we haven't really had an official chat.
100%,
That's what I
yeah.
love about this podcast, man.
Yeah.
I love that it's doing that. It has one of the things I'm obsessed with any artist. I don't care if you're a director of photography. They're the ones who shoot. They're the ones who shoot the motion.
Mm-hmm.
Photographers, artists is the creative process.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel that's where, shouldn't feel, that is where the art is created.
Right.
A lot of artists, whatever field you're in, don't even know that they have a process. We all have a creative process. It's, have you taken the time or have you acknowledged what it takes for you to do what you need to do to create your music?
Right.
Do you have a process like that? That
Yeah. So,
like you don't sacrifice from?
100%. So I do have a process. The process is very natural. Early on, I used to be the guy that would like, if something wasn't working, I'm hitting my head over against. Beating my head over against.
I must create.
I got to get this thing. The older I'm getting, like now it's like, dude, I'll go in the studio. I know the shit that works. I know the shit that's not gonna work. I'm not gonna be in there.
Those blind alleys you don't have to go down anymore.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna overthink shit.
Yeah.
Because creatively, like, bro, like at the end of the day, I'm an instrument to God or whatever
Amen.
is creating through me.
Amen.
And like, I'm more of a channeler than I am like, I'm not making this shit. Something higher is.
Sure.
And like, I've gotten good at channeling whatever that is, and like channeling that process and letting that pain come out naturally, letting those melodies come out naturally, not overthinking lyrics, not overthinking melodies, not overthinking production.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like letting that happen in a natural way.
Mm.
Whereas like when you're younger, you know what I'm saying? Like
perfection.
You want to be that
I don't
guy.
Want to release it until it's perfect.
100%.
And what is perfect? And you're never going to find perfect. So you end up never releasing it.
100%. 100%. And there's so many people like that. I know so many people like that.
And it's really all just fear-based. It's all just rooted from fear.
Well, it's insecurity. You know
what I said earlier about when I was like, the first time I had Instagram, I had to release photos. I was scared out of my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Are people going to like it?
Right.
Oh my God.
Right.
And I can only imagine that in your world.
But yeah. Oh, bro. I stopped giving a fuck about that a long time ago.
Well, let's talk about that.
Well, so to me, it's like that. My outlook on that is like, bro, like when I do something, when I put something out, bro, like as much as I love everybody else, dude, I'm doing that shit for me. Like,
too.
Because
If it fits my quota, it's gonna definitely fit yours.
because the shit is medicine. Yeah. I need to do it. Like I'd be dead if I didn't have it. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't need to judge myself for the amount of likes something gets, or somebody likes this or doesn't like this. Like, yo, that's cool. You can like whatever the fuck you want, but this is who the fuck I am, and this is what I'm doing. I'm doing me, and I like this. And then when you get the true fans and the people that love that DM you and say, hey man, like, you know, a lady hit me up the other day and she was like, look, my husband killed himself. And like, your music I listen to every morning to help me.
I listen
like
to
when you
too.
when you get that, yeah,
I do.
appreciate that. But when you get that message, that's fuck alike. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That is what
It's
it is.
hitting the soul.
Yes, like holy shit, I created something to help me get through this, but it helped you, and I don't even know who you are. But it brought us together. It also helped you go through some really traumatic shit.
That's got to motivate you.
It does. And that's what it's about. You know, like all this other stuff.
I mean, I kind of fanboyed you when I called you. I was like, dude, hey, what's up, man? Hey, what's going on?
I love that conversation though too, because that's the type of person I am. Like, I love when people cold call me or anything, because I'm a real guy like that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not. I love the industry. Some people move certain ways. That's cool. I move a little different. That's also cool. But it's like also going back to that word you said, bro, authenticity.
Mm-hmm.
I can't try to be somebody I'm not.
Yeah.
And also your audience, especially in this day and age, the audience can see through bullshit.
Sure.
They know when you're not being you.
Yeah.
And they don't have the time to be there and watch you bullshit. They'd rather sit there and be like, yo, this dude is authentic. He might be a little brash, but I like it, you know, because he's a human.
But do you think in a world we live in now, as you just said, where it's just now, I don't even have the time to look through it, but yet do you feel like do you need to? You also don't want to feel the pressure to have to release things
100%.
to please those people either. You know, it's. I do believe we're in a matrix, a wheel that is feeding this machine of content audio, content visual.
Right.
Does it even have to be good? Is what's going on out there, and that's where maybe, and I hope you feel that way with me in regards to you see the pain or the me putting skin in the, I won't settle for average.
100%.
I will not. Again, for me, I can't say what greatness is all around me. Absolutely better, but for me, I am going to be at that top. I cannot settle.
I'm the same way.
So I mean, do you battle that with kind of the
do.
Joneses? Get out, push it. Well, hold up. It's not it. Is
just nailed it, dude. 100%. Yeah, I struggle with that all the time. Sometimes I'm like, I want to drop this one piece right now, and like maybe I go into the sunset. See you later. I'm gonna go fall in love with something else. Like, I have thoughts like that.
sure.
But at the same time, it's like I also am challenged by that as well. I am very like, okay, the pure artist mentality, but also like, hey, bro, this thing makes me uncomfortable, man. I gotta lean into that.
That's impressive.
You know what I mean? Well, because it is important, dude. Like, at the end of the day, there are people who are creators that do stuff like us, you know, that's real and authentic, that are killing it just because they understood just a little difference in like, okay, this is an algorithm. This does work this way, but there's a way to do it and stay authentic. And it might take you longer to grow on those platforms being that way rather than just like the quick, like dopamine clickbait shit.
Mm-hmm.
But there are people like that. There are examples like that. So to me, it's like being that type of person to where it's like, this makes me really fucking uncomfortable. All right, why? Taking my fucking clothes off, jumping in that water. Let's fucking go. You know?
See,
what I
I'm
mean?
not like that, and I still am not like that.
Yeah.
I deal with it every single day, and it's all social media related for me.
Right.
It's you see me on set, Troy. You could, well, if you had a microphone, you would. But on set, I'm a general.
Right.
I'm a leader. Really good.
Yeah.
And then when it gets into socials, I get the anxiety because I feel like I have to be buttoned. I have to be not proper. That's the wrong word. Buttoned. And because I'm at any given time I'm posting Morgan Wallen. I'm posting Yellow Wolf, Hardy, Jake Owen. You know, and it's like, good God. You know, send shit. So it's like,
well, it's the unknown,
I admire.
right?
What?
It's the unknown, right?
Yeah, and
That's the
I
scary
do
part.
still do it.
Yeah.
And honestly, this whole podcast was, I didn't want to do it. I almost didn't do it because of that camera.
You're right.
It's not what we're talking about.
Right.
It's that thing, you know, for
100%.
me, because I know the power of it.
100%.
How vulnerable, how you do at any given moment, you could shit the bed. You could
100%.
jump the shark and people go,
everybody's looking,
phony.
everybody's looking at you and like.
Yeah.
Also, everybody, you know, when they're hiding behind a keyboard, they'll say some shit that they wouldn't say to you in
That's
real
true.
life.
So I admire
People on the internet are
yeah.
they're bad, man. I've got some comments where I'm like, damn, bro, you all right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what are you going through today? Jeez, bro. That was mean.
You got me there.
But yeah, dude, I completely hear what you're saying, but like even going back to what you're saying, like, you know, the vulnerability of this and like not liking to do the social media, bro. The thing too is what you're doing in this room. You know, you format that in like a 15-second clip, and like, bro, even some of this, what we're saying, dude, might go viral because it's deep and there's a million of me and yous,
Of course.
that are scrolling, that are lost, and then they hear some shit, me and you talking, two artists, and they're like, oh damn, this is calming my anxiety right now. Like I need to hear this.
I love you saying that.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like
yes.
Cause I do it. You know what I mean? Even looking at your stuff, that's why I'm saying, like, when I looked at your stuff, I was like, I was catching myself like going down the rabbit hole because it was interesting to me. It was also calming me down because I'm a creative too. So even to the point of like it being scary, like, fuck yeah, it's scary, but like you are doing something that is important for our community as creative people.
Thank you.
So to me, it's like that's what I love about this whole thing. I mean, and this conversation has been incredible as well.
I when we did it, because I didn't want in the trenches, you know, and I'm a kind of guy that skips right past 101. I'm in graduate level people.
Right.
Like, let's get in it.
Yeah.
This, you saying that gives me strength that this is all worth it, because that's what I did it for. It fuels me that you said that.
Absolutely, bro.
Even in when doubts, you're like, oh, it's not, you know, is it moving the needle?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It will,
but it's
though.
moving my needle.
Yeah.
I'm stoked. I mean,
100%.
honestly, for you to come in here tonight, I was giddy. You know, I've been listening.
yeah.
I listen to your music all the time,
I love it.
and I don't even say that as a joke.
Yeah.
It's Troy. Say it. Okay. Shit. I just was doing a photo shoot for a guy named Dylan Schneider, and the way I shoot photos, a lot of the time, even Morgan and Yellow Wolf, I no matter who, I move around.
Yeah.
We get in the minivan, and we move. We stealth bomb. It's under the radar. We find little nuggets. Get out. Boom. Nope, not good. Boom. Move on.
Right.
And that energy.
Yeah.
You know.
It's creativity, bro. It's like you live for it. So again, bringing it back to this, it's like that's what's dope about this process. Is like even the moving the needle thing, like, bro, it will. It's just it hasn't caught on yet. Like people don't know yet. Like same with a lot of stuff that I do. Like I've had some viral stuff where it caught on, but like Joyride. I put Joyride out like 6 months to almost like 7 months before that thing went viral.
That's the song
And it
that
was
got
just, but that's what I'm saying. But it was just one moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was social media, and it was me doing shit like this and being uncomfortable posting. And then just all of a sudden, man, when I didn't care, and I was like, you know what, there is 100 people DMing me going, this is helping.
me. Yeah. I get it too now, and I'm trying to figure that out.
So it's like, actually, I don't care if this is 1 million or whatever. And then all of a sudden, I wake up, I did a post, fucking, I'm like, that shit has 1 million views on it and like 100,000 shares. And I'm like, now I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know, yo, Joyride was sitting at like 20,000 listens and now it's got 1 million streams. Like, what the hell just happened? But it was this authenticity.
Yeah.
Stuff like this, bro. And just doing it, bro. It's God's timing. It's the universe, whatever you believe in, the great spirit that moves through all things. Like, it's that timing. We're creatives. We don't need to worry about that shit. All we need to worry about is doing this shit because we love it, creating, and then just going like, here's some food. Yeah. Eat if y'all want to.
Yeah, off your plate. Yeah.
Yep. Eat if y'all want to. If you don't eat, cool. I led you to water. You don't have to drink that shit.
It's a good segue into a few things I want to chat
Yes, sir.
about.
Sorry.
I would love to chat about a song that hits me.
Yeah.
And it might be a little bit of a deep cut. I'm not sure. I want to talk about it.
Yes, sir.
It's not Joyride.
Yeah.
One for the Road.
Oh, I love that song.
Bubba.
Bubba. I love that one. Yeah.
It just, woo, it hits. It's, oh.
That's a sleeper too. So like, I love that you say that because that is one of those ones when people hear it, they're like, damn, bro, I didn't know you had this.
Oh.
But so that one, so the story behind that is so interesting because, dude, so
I picked a good one.
A really good one. So I wrote that song on acoustic and it was some like Johnny Cash type shit. Like it was like real country shit. And it was cool. And I'm with B. Sam's, my producer. I'm playing him that shit. He's like, damn, that's crazy. Whatever. We go to the bar. We have drinks. We hang out all night. He comes back. He starts cooking up this beat. And he's like, yo, those fucking lyrics you're saying on that guitar thing, like, just fucking try that on this. So I did. And it worked. And it was like, yo, this is fucking dope. Like,
and it was after you came home from the bar?
Yeah. Yeah. No, but that's how
that's
how
creativity
we are, dude.
hits.
We're just like, bro, turn the fucking mic on. It's time to go.
Because your voice is insane on that.
But even like lyrically, like, bro, if you heard that shit, it was just like, boom, bang, boom, like some old ass country sound and shit.
Yeah.
With the lyrics and like more of a Stapleton kind of vocal, right?
Okay.
But when he played that beat, it was like, all right, cool. We're going to a different place with this.
Yeah,
and
it was
then
a
I
different
started
place.
Spitting, I drank too much of that moonshine at night. Back in my bag, trying to get to the next spot. And I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
He got the headphones on. You're like, oh,
one
shit.
For the road.
Yeah.
Get one for the road.
Oh, 100%.
I love that. Yeah.
But you know what? Like,
That's the last time I will ever sing on a mic.
No problem. But like, even that, right? It paints a picture. Like, look at that picture right there.
Yeah.
Like, one for the road. Bro, that fits that shit.
Sure.
Like when I was making that record, like all I'm thinking in my head is like a night desert kind of sky.
Sure.
In the desert, and you're just driving down the fucking road by your damn self. And it's just what's running through your mind.
So I was gonna ask you. That's one of my questions. Was like, are you visual in your songwriting? Do you have a movie? Loose word in your mind when you're because it's very cinematic, and I think that's one of the reasons your tunes, your music speaks to me, because I'm very cinematic. Like High Heels, I mean, give me that video. You know what I mean? Or like
hey, Gone with want it, you got
Gone with the Wind. Gone with the Wind.
Love that record. So all of these are birthed out of like moments they're not supposed to be birthed out of, right?
But they're great.
That's what makes them great. So it's like when we really try to sit down and write a song, it's like, you know. But when it's just like we're vibing and we're in our energy and like you said, like cinematic shit, it's like we'll sit down, like pictures and images will start popping up, you know, like, and with all of us, like, you know, it's not just me, it's like my creative team, my guys, like all that, like it's not just always me or B Sam's in the room or me by myself in the room. Like sometimes there's, you know, David Ray, who, you know, is a good friend of mine who wrote Son of a Sinner with Jelly and grew up with Jelly. Like a lot of different cats. And like sitting in the room, it's like B will start playing something and it's just like, I'll start hitting like a melody, which just comes natural. And then all of a sudden it's like, boom, light bulb. What if we talked about this? And then everybody's like, oh, yeah, maybe we say this. Maybe this is the line. Maybe this. And then all of a sudden, you're just fucking playing ping pong in the room and making a song at the same time.
Are you playing word salad or are you playing a picture? Are you painting? And when you're thinking, before you speak to your group of writers, is it word, or is it world?
Both.
Okay.
So to me, it's like when it comes to landscaping, the art, you said cinematic, right? If you look at movies, it's not just the visual that makes movies great. It's the
Absolutely.
sound. It's the sounds, it's the sonics, it's the songs. So to me, it's like a lot of the time Joyride, for instance, make the beat, it's a skeleton of the beat. I go on the mic, I'm freestyling melodies, but it's like, and that's what it is at first. And then it's like, that to me is like, okay, like that the colors are popping in, like we're filling in the textures, we're coloring in spaces that need to be colored in. And then like, then we laid a nice blanket and it's like, all right, now let's have a picnic, which is the lyrics. You know what I mean? You start to look at those melodies and you're like, all right, yo, what if this? I feel like even with Joyride, I was like, this song just makes me feel like a fucking fast car or some shit. You know what I mean? Okay. It was just like, and then like B was like, yeah, fucking Joyride or some shit. And we're like, yo, take me for, and then like it starts going. And then it's like, yo, what if this is about being with a girl and like, you know, wild night out, but in the car,
sure,
or in the Tahoe. And like you didn't even,
you're not even worried about the sun coming up.
You didn't even make it to the bar. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all are just getting it in the car. You know what I mean? Yeah. Going for a joyride. But then also you're thinking to yourself like, what a crazy concept. Take me for a joyride. Yeah. We know what I'm actually talking about. But you know, it could be one of them records where people are like, yo, this is a car record.
I know the double entendre.
Yeah, exactly.
But every time I visualize the song, I'm in a car. I'm driving. Of course, I've got the late. You know, I've got it. Yeah. But I'm in a car. I'm painting that visual.
Exactly, dude. You're seeing what you're like, what that process is like. And again, like I said, I've been going back to like even that picture behind you, bro. Like I'm gonna be real, that one catches my eye over everything. Like
I'm gonna send you home with one of them prints.
I would love
I've got a few, I think, standing around.
I would love to, but like even that, bro, like that picture says a fucking million words.
Thank you.
You know, and so it's the same thing with like music. It's like, and sometimes it's the simplest songs, where it's like, this guy did one verse. And then did the same verse in the second verse, but the chorus is so powerful, and like what he's saying is so powerful. I'd rather listen to that one than the one that's like, whoa, this guy's skilled. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Now, do you make a song? I mean, I know it's pretty normal. I mean, to create a song and trash it. It wasn't it. I mean, how did that?
All the time.
Yeah, because you have to have a very fine criteria that
right. Well, also, dude, if the vibe's not there, and like going back to when I was younger, man, like I would try to fucking jam the shit in there.
Yeah.
Like, get in, motherfucker. Let's get this one. This one's gonna be good.
This is gonna be it.
And it's like now, like, dude, I just have that intuition to where like I'll be in a session, I'll be like, I'll be looking around, I'm like, what's in it?
Let's go get a drink. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be like, all right, boys. Hey, man, that's great. Like, hey, I got shit going on. Let me take a break. Mm-hmm. And I'll go do whatever. And then come back and like, then all of a sudden, like, Sam's will start cooking up a beat or whatever. And I'm like, shit right there. And he'll look over, and when I'm starting to like sing and shit and I'm going, he'll be like, he'll start laying more shit down because he's like, we're about to get a banger.
Like, but you took that break.
Yeah.
See, I'm in that same boat.
100%.
Usually where mine where my situation happens, it's across the board. It's the same thing. I'm usually in the edit,
Right.
where I'm just trying to beat this. Because you can frame fuck in the edit.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
on the set, it's just you're following the blueprint. But in the edit, you're trying to find different ways, and you're like, let's go get dinner. Let's just get away. 100%. You come back, and you're like, boop, 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 done.
Let's breathe, bro.
Yes.
Like, it's the same thing in music, bro. It's like, it's the space between notes that make a great song, bro. It's
you
not
can't jam that whole thing. You know, you can't just try to expect it to be all one 100%. In the designated writer's time or whatever you have.
I mean, if you look at, like, shit, one of my favorite bands, Pink Floyd.
Yeah, of course.
Like, dude, their songs are like lungs. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like,
and follow no structure.
100%. But they're breathing. It's like, oh, motherfucker's running right now because it's.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, he's calm. He's sleeping. It's calm. It's relaxed.
Yeah.
It's like, that to me is the creative process as well with like what we're doing. It's like, I really am that dude. I do not overthink shit when it comes to that shit.
I do.
Oh no,
that is honestly my kryptonite though.
No, I get you, but I overthink shit when it comes to like putting it out there. Like, I definitely do, but when it comes to creating,
do you know what's funny?
Do you feel that way when you're creating though?
Yes. Oh no, when I'm creating,
that's what I'm trying to say.
When I'm creating and I'm in it, there's no second guessing it.
Exactly.
I know exactly what I want when I want it, and honestly, every crew member knows.
So that's what I mean.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's. I guess I'm speaking of music videos. I guess I'm a true general of my army. When it gets into photo, I treat photo a little bit closer to my heart because my photography is more intimate with the artist. Right. I don't have a crew and all these arms and ears and eyes chiming in. It's just me and you. So I do get vulnerable at a certain point, but
100%.
I don't know where.
No, because like, to bring it back to the point, it's like, because what I'm hearing is same as me. It's like creative process, like you're that.
I do.
Like you say general. I love that. I'm gonna steal that, by the way, because I like that line. But you're the general, bro. You're running shit. Like, you understand what's gonna work, what's not gonna work, where to cut things off, where to do this, where to do that. The insecurity part probably comes in, and same with me, is like when you have to give that up. It's like having a kid, man. It's like,
true.
You got to go out into the world one day. I'm terrified. You're my baby. I love you. And one day I got to let you fucking stand on your own legs. And that's terrifying.
Well, because you and I both said 30 minutes ago that we are making our work for us.
Right.
And then once it's fit your restrictions and your criteria, then so it's very, by the time you release it, you've monopolized it. You've owned it. It's 100%. Yours. It's your baby. So when you release it, it's just full vulnerability.
Now you have these streaming platforms and also like the social media game and like this short form kind of content where it's like you kind of bury it in there and then people find it and then they go to the long form. I think like everything's going to evolve, and as creatives, we don't know what that next thing is. So as open as we are when we create art, right? We got to be as open as we are with all of this.
Would you, as creatives, you say that to be open, but also to have ownership.
Yeah.
You have to be responsible for your own brand.
Absolutely.
And I say that for everyone who is listening to this podcast, not just musical artists, myself included.
Right.
Up until recently, I've had to look at myself and realize, oh shit. You're a brand. You're a brand. You're not only oh my God. Do what you're doing for these people. And I remember doing it with Ian Tongi, the American Idol, just like a couple of weeks ago. I said it to him, and he was in town. And I said, he goes, how's everything going? I go, it's been going great. The podcast has been good, but my mind is just, I starting to understand the social media aspect of it. And I said, blah, 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 blah. And like, I really think that like, I'm a brand. He stood up. He's like, yes, you finally understand what we all see of you.
Yeah, 100%.
And I didn't appreciate it, or I didn't see it from that lens because I'm old school.
Yeah.
And that's a question I love to ask anyone is, it's very hard to dote myself.
Yeah.
Hey guys, hey.
Right. It feels awkward.
It's not me.
100%.
So I've had to learn different ways to still do it without it making it feel like
Yeah, I'm being corny. I'm being
you know
that
what
guy.
I mean? So like I've been
Trust
doing
me.
like these making the photos, making the videos where it's like, okay, it's gonna be a little different, like old school Kurt Loder MTV
Right,
shit,
right.
you know?
No, but that's
I'm like,
good though.
How do we make it look kind of cool and still fit into my
Brand.
brand? Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
that's the word.
yeah.
Like, look, man, if you even, I think about this too. It's like, even with myself, like, I'm not the biggest artist yet. I'm growing, whatever. But, like, one thing I do have awareness of is who I am and what that brand is. But also, I don't think I've even started to tap into it. Like, I look at dudes like Jelly, look at dudes like Post Malone. Like, look, bro, they have great music, and I'm a super fan of their music. But also, here's the other thing. The reason why they're such superstars is because people like them.
Yeah, absolutely. They're likable.
Yes. Well, and they are the brand. And what a lot of artists make mistakes on, and me included in the past, is like trying to just be like, oh, my music's so dope that trumps everything. It's like, nah, bro. You gotta
The
you
script
gotta
is
win.
flipped.
Yeah, you gotta win people over, bro. But also, like, there's a way to do that with conversations like this, where like I'm being the artist that I am, and I'm being authentic.
Yeah,
And this is a brand.
sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a thing where like people are gonna be like, yo, I just watched that Houston podcast and that he was on, and damn, I think I'm a fan for life now, man.
That's it.
Like, I love this music, but like, you know, I didn't really know what this dude was about like that. Now I get it. Now I buy into what he's doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
to me, it's just, all of this shit can be uncomfortable, but that's where the best shit comes from.
Thank you for saying that. I think every listener is going to enjoy hearing that. Say that again.
So all of this shit can be really uncomfortable, but that's where the best shit comes from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, man,
It is.
love that.
So, if there was an artist you could collaborate with tomorrow while you're in town, who would it be? Any artist.
Any in the world?
Well,
alive? Dead or alive?
No, alive. Alive.
Okay, alive.
Who are you resonating with, and who would you see yourself doing a collab with?
This is going to sound so cocky and so bad. Me.
Okay.
Like, like, honestly, like, I'm down to fuck with any of these people, bro. But, like, truthfully, like, when I say my self-belief is what it is, bro, like, I really believe in me like that. It's my time. I got to prove myself. And also, like, I'm betting on myself. All these other artists, they're great. Love y'all. Love what y'all are doing. Appreciate it. But, bro, watch out. I'm coming. Because, like, now I'm here, and I'm about to change this whole shit. And that's that. I mean, that sounds bad. It sounds cocky, but like,
No, it doesn't. It sounds like a man who does not have any backup. This is it. I'm going straight like a locomotive.
No backup too, but also, like, you know, I'm gonna be real. Like, how this industry is like, you know, people only love you when people don't give you your flowers until like you're that famous guy. Sure. You know, and you meet a lot of these cats, and it's like, you know, they like you, but they got to play that industry game, and that's okay. And I'm glad they do. But that also, you know, revs me up and makes me be like, oh, God, I cannot wait to prove it to you and be sitting in that room when we're on top, and you be that motherfucker who's like, oh, bro, I always believed in you, and just be like, nah, I did, bro.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, but I did. That's why
absolutely.
I'm here. Like,
So what do we got in store for you? Shows. When can we see some shows? Are you
I have
popping out? And
Yes, sir. So I have. I pull out the dates on my phone. Not a great calendar. Did you guys have? Do any of y'all have the dates?
June 8th,
Yeah.
CMA's
That's
June
the name.
8th.
Yep.
You're out with? Are you out
Jelly.
on some Jelly? Now have you hung out with him? Have you met him?
Yeah.
He's a great dude.
The greatest, nicest guy,
What was
kindest guy.
when did you meet him?
So I met him. He was playing in Florida. So we have the same agent.
Okay.
At CAA. Great people, love them as well. And so Hunter hit me up, and he was like, "Hey man, Jelly's gonna be in Florida. So if you want to go to the show and meet him, man, he would love to meet you, blah, blah, blah. So went out, me and UG, and like, dude, this dude was so fucking down to earth and so cool. But like, I'm not like a star sucker like that. So like, I just chilled in the background till he noticed who I was, and he was like, yo, Houston, what's up? It was like, I was like, oh shit, I must be doing something, because like this dude's talking to me like he's known me for a little while. So like, even again, like our conversation, it wasn't like no crazy shit, bro, but it was just like, he was so kind, he was very direct, and he reminded me of myself, like the way he moves. Like he moves with his people, he loves his people, but he also is trying to build. He's got other people around, and everybody, he's talking to everybody, he's connecting with everybody. He believes in himself, but at the same time, man, he's gonna make everybody in that room feel good. And that's not because he's trying to get something out of people. It's because that's who he genuinely is. Yeah. And that shit comes across. So like when I met him, I was like, yo, this dude is so cool. Then he goes up on stage, shouts me out while he's up on stage, like me and him are in the front, right? Like where the photographers can take pictures and shit. Mm-hmm. He's like, he's playing Son of a Sinner, and he just looks at me, he's like, what up, Houston? And like, my family was there, like my brothers were there and shit. Like my brother about fucking fainted. He was like, what the fuck? Like, it's that's like, cool. Damn, dude. He's cool. Like, you weren't lying about this type of shit, but it's like, yeah, bro. People like that, I look up to people like that. Sure. Because that dude right now, he's paving the way for dudes like me. I'm the next one. He's doing his thing and opening that door so I could get in there as well. Yeah. And like, to me, like, I'm gonna do that for the next wave of artists.
Of course.
Like, cause this shit comes in waves. You know what I'm saying? Like, even with, love him or hate him, Morgan, same thing. It's like, dude, that kid is where he's at because of his music is so good and his vibe. He took chances and did things differently. And people love that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he did the Dirk song and all that. It's like, people weren't doing stuff like that. Mm-hmm. He opened the door for people to be able to do different shit. So like, to me, when it comes to meeting these guys, like, bro, like, I love this game. I study these dudes. Even if I meet people and I don't like them, because you've been there, right? Like,
oh, sure.
Sometimes you meet the hero and you're like, damn, that dude sucks.
Well, I can assure you that's not the case with Morgan. He's the sweetest guy.
100%. But I'm saying, like, I've been in cases where I have done that. I won't mention any names. I'm not that type of person. But even that teaches you, because you're still like, I still got to respect the art form.
Sure.
I still got to see that you are this dope. But also, one thing I just noticed is you just made me feel this way, and now I don't even want to look at your shit no more.
Yeah. I had the fortunate opportunity to be in the studio with Yellow Wolf and Jelly.
Hell yeah.
I think Jelly was there doing a hook on War Story, which is Wolf's new album.
Yeah.
And I just followed Jelly into the mic booth like I always do. Just follow him on in.
Yeah.
And we were in there for about 40 minutes, man. He was chiefing. It was a good vibe in there. But it was what I loved about it was when Yellow Wolf came in. Again, I'm in this small mic booth, but I'm a fly on the wall. I'm really quiet unless they ask me a question. But watching them work through a process, and they were working through a cadence, trying to hit these things, and then Malay a really big producer in the room. It was just really awesome watching how they made the final, they just kind of kept stirring until the cream rose to the top, and it was really beautiful. I mean, it was just supernatural, really fun.
100%.
Easy. Now, has there been a moment that you've experienced that you're like, oh shit, this is that moment. Like it took you, it kind of pulled you out. You're like, wow, this is going.
Every time I create, bro.
Really?
I'm telling you, I've gotten to that point where it's like, if I will, in the first 10 seconds, make the decision of like, this is going to work, this is not going to work. Like, I can feel that shit. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So, like, I could turn it on. So, it's like, if I'm sitting down and I'm creating, whether it's me by myself or my guys in the room or whatever, like, I go right to that place. And it's like, boom. And I'm free, bro. I'm happy. I forget who I even am. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I'm not even there. I'm the song.
Sure.
I'm this thing. I become the process. And it's escapism, bro. It's like for those couple hours, bro, I don't have to think or be me. I can be the song. I could be the creativity. I could be the process. I could, I'm just not there. I'm lost and I'm found at the same time.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And it's like, and then you come out of it and like, boom, process is done, and then you go like this, play. And you're like, fuck, this is good.
This is good.
You know
or
what I mean?
it's sometimes not, right? Or
I will not.
I mean,
so these days,
you won't go that long.
I
into
will
it
not, bro. If it's bad,
out.
if it's dookie, it's going in the trash, going in the toilet. Like
before you even get too many layers on the cake.
100%. I will not go there. I will like, even if I'm in rooms with people, I'm like, I'm not wasting, because there's another thing, bro. Time is valuable.
Mm-hmm.
But the time that you waste doing something is time if you wanted to literally just chill and literally fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
You wasted that time doing some shit that was counterproductive. Like, to where if you really needed that mental break, that time you took doing this dumb shit over, hey, I could have had this mental break and chilled the fuck out and like go to the bar or turn on the TV, watch this movie, or go hang out with my kids and shit, or go hang out with my boys, or whatever
don't
it is.
beat the square peg into the round hole.
100%, bro. Like, sometimes it's not something's time. And there's a difference between your turn and your time. Like, and same thing with music, bro. It's like a lot of people think, oh, it's my turn. It's not your turn, bro. Like, you might think it's your turn. That's cool. Go say that shit. And then maybe it is your turn, and then boom, it don't happen.
Sure.
But guess what? It wasn't your time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's understanding what your time.
You get it? Yes. I agree. I hear you. Now, has there been? I forget the question I was going to ask. Shit.
Sorry.
Yes.
You
No.
just
No.
smacked the
He
bird
got that.
or
He got.
something.
He got that mosquito that came in. What would be your advice to someone who's coming up? I mean, same.
Yeah.
That maybe you've experienced through your hardships that they're just listening to this. It could be any field, dang
Right.
it. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be a dang singer artist.
Yeah.
What is there anything that you live by that you want to share?
Yes, dude. Number one, trust your gut. If something feels off, 9 times out of 10 it is. You got to make some changes.
Mm-hmm.
Period. That goes with creating. That goes with running a business. That goes with dealing with people in the business. You know what I mean? Sure. All of that. If something don't feel right, hey, 9 times out of 10, that shit ain't right. So you got to look around and be like, what's wrong? And you got to make those changes and those adjustments. And then eventually you'll get to the point, like, creatively, I'm at this point where it's like, it very rarely goes wrong for me because I've gotten so good at that. Now in business, because I'm growing as a businessman, I'm growing like on that side of things. Now I got to get there business-wise.
Okay.
I got to be the type of dude that's like, learning, bro. Like, meeting everybody I can, making everybody like me, but at the same time being authentic to who I am and, like, not selling my soul to do that.
Well,
You
business isn't fun. And also business clouds creativity. Every
100%.
time for me. Are you actively speaking the language, learning the language? Are you in your business
100%.
dealings? Like,
Absolutely.
you know the numbers that are trickling, and that's
Everything.
wonderful. You have to be if you're going to
Absolutely.
be. Yes.
Everything. But also the other thing too is when it comes to business as well, these are still relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So as hard as it can be at times, and as hard as, like, decisions you got to make, sometimes you got to hurt people's feelings. Sometimes you got to make tough decisions.
Of course.
But at the same time, when you're dealing with certain people that are power players, you got to be that dude that's like, I'm the small guy in the room right now.
You got to know when to be a chameleon.
And I gotta realize that shit, and I gotta sit the fuck down, and I gotta listen. and I need to learn everything I can from this person. And then once that person looks over and is like, hey man, I like that young kid, I respect him.
Yeah.
Then you get that respect, and then that person is like, come here, let me put you on game.
Sure.
Start teaching you. Same way with creativity, man. When you meet a great artist or you meet somebody, you watch them.
Yeah.
You know, you see it. You look at it and you're like, I see what he did there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and you're able to see those things. And for me, it's the same in business. It's like, for me, I want to grow with people that I like and want to grow with, but also like sometimes there's people that you like, they can't be fucking up your yard, bro. There's some moles out there, bro, and they're fucking up the grass.
Some
you know
snakes.
What I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know,
I do.
sometimes you
I
got-
do, and they're
and
usually
even-
they're
and-
usually the business players.
Well, yeah, but even sometimes it's like sometimes it's people you like, and sometimes you got to be like,
Yeah.
you're fucking the grass up, bro. You got to go. You know what I mean? And it's like you got to be man enough to make them decisions, but at the same time understand like that has nothing to do with the creativity. Because you nailed it. We're building a brand.
Yep.
We're not just making songs. You're not just taking pictures. We're building a brand.
Absolutely. That takes a team.
Yeah, and that takes a whole team of people who have great energy that are willing to learn and to grow. And if they don't know, it's way better for them to be like, look, I don't know.
Absolutely.
Rather than to try to be the guy. It's like, I do know when you don't know. And it's like you're sitting there with bigger players and they're looking at you like, well, I know you don't know because I've been doing this a long time, a lot more than you, son. And
Sure.
you need to, your ego's out of fucking control. I don't
Yeah.
even want to touch you.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm the new guy in the room, right? So super confident when it comes to the music. I will talk my shit. Business, very humble, learning, growing, wanna know more, wanna, be an understudy of people that I'm working with and just like, okay, why do you think that? Or why is this way? Like all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm willing to make changes and do this and do that and grow. And like, honestly, like I forget who said it. Somebody said it to me yesterday. Can't remember who it was at this party, but they were like, yo, I've never met you before. Kind of a big player. I think it was like a writer or something. Look, I've never met you before. I was just jamming to your music. Number one, love the music. But now that I've just met you, like, bro, you fucking next.
Yeah.
Like I can feel that shit.
For
like,
sure.
I know it. You know what I mean? Like I just know.
Yeah.
And it's like because I'm moving that way.
Yeah.
And if I didn't, bro, it's like one small fuck up, man, could bring down the whole tower.
Absolutely.
So
One question I like
Yeah.
to ask in closing, because I'm kind
Yes,
of a
sir.
nerd like that. If you could identify Huey's, I said I would get
Huey,
it.
baby.
Houston's superpower, what would it be?
Vulnerability.
Explain why that's a superpower.
Because, bro, like at the end of the day, like it's what makes me sing good. It's what makes me be able to build relationships. Because I will be the dude, like when I'm talking to you, to be like, I will share my heart on my sleeve, and then all of a sudden, like the meeting turns into we're having drinks after the meeting, and then it's like, we're fucking shedding tears talking about real life shit.
Yeah.
And then it's like, God, I like that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
sure.
and not even saying that's a business move, but it's
No.
like, it's that vulnerability is a hard place to be at as like, as just as a person, as a man, because look, man, you don't want to get caught slipping,
Sure.
but at the same time, dude, like being vulnerable is where you invite greatness into the room.
Sure.
If you're not
I
vulnerable,
agree with that.
you don't even allow that motherfucker to walk in there. Like all the greats took the shot.
Yeah.
All the greats went into that room and took that shot and was like, hey, vest is off, man. Here we go. I'm walking into the fire.
Yeah.
I gotta be vulnerable right now, but fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they became the greats, and everybody looks at them like, oh my God, this guy's so great. It's like,
Yeah.
you're capable of that shit too. But you didn't allow yourself to be vulnerable. Vulnerability is a superpower, bro.
I love it. Houston,
Hey.
thank you so much for taking the time. This
you,
was
man.
awesome.
Yeah, I love
honestly,
this, man. I
I'm
love
honored you took the time to. I know
Absolutely.
you're only here for a few days, and
Yeah.
I hollered at you, and I was like, I gotta have you in when you're here. And even you were like, oh, I mean, if I can't make it work, we'll try to do it in May. I'm like, no, I really was excited.
Yeah.
And thank you from the bottom of my heart.
No,
Appreciate
thank you, bro. Like, honestly, this made me feel 5 pounds lighter, dude. Just like creative conversations like this, bro. It's like, I'm probably going to write like 3-4 hit songs because of this. You know what I mean? Because it feels good, man. And also, like, even on your creativity, man, like, I want to let you know, like, I respect you, bro. I see you.
Thank you.
Everything that you've done is really great, bro. And like, even this conversation, man, like, I appreciate you being vulnerable and being like, hey, man. Because look, bro, you've done some big ass shit. Yeah. You don't have to be that guy to be like being vulnerable.
Sure.
I
loved your answer.
You could be the guy on this mic being like, I fucking did this, I did that, bro. You can't fuck with me. But you're being honest and being like, look, I'm growing this new thing. I feel insecure about these parts, but I feel like a general in these parts.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, bro, that is why you're gonna build a dope ass audience with this podcast, because you're able to be vulnerable. And that's going to make people be like, they're going to put their shoulders back and like, oh, man, brought the fresh air.
Much love.
Much love.
Man, we are going to shoot some photos soon, too.
Dude, I'm down, bro. I'm down.
Thank you again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.